Welcome back to the Hellcat rebuild, and today I'm going to be working on the Hellcat, trying to get the engine accessories buttoned up. Everything that was busted from the accident, I'm going to try to replace the AC compressor, the alternator, the serpentine belt, all the pulleys and everything. So I'm going to try to get that all done today. Later in the week, I should have the radiators, and once I get those, I can get the car running, get it over the dealership, have an alignment done on it, have them bleed the ABS system, and so on. So I'm trying to get this car running and driving as fast as possible. I have been waiting to drive this car for so long, 3 months in the making, and now I should be able to drive it in the next couple of episodes. So we're gonna get this thing, all the brake lines done on it as much as we can today as possible, and just try to work with what we got until the next shipment of parts comes. Also, this video is sponsored by Mopar Online Parts. The link is in the description. They have extremely good prices. Go check them out, and let's get to work on this Hellcat. This is the new supercharger coolant pump and a new bracket. This bracket right here, I didn't even know I needed, but luckily enough, I had it in the bad parts bag, so I could utilize this old part on the car. It's not damaged, so luckily enough, that isn't an issue. I am having the dealership look for these riv nuts. By the end of the day, if they cannot locate or source these, or if they're not available to purchase separately, I will just drill these out round and just put normal riv nuts in it. It will solve the issue I'm having. That is the only difference I have found so far on the Scat Pack frame compared to the Hellcat frame. So the holes are there. Like I said in the last video, they just don't have the riv nuts in them to bolt this bracket to. So since that's done, I'm gonna set that to the side. I was looking for that bracket. I was getting kind of worried I was gonna have to order it, but luckily enough now I don't. So let's get all of this stuff right here replaced and ready to go. So this thing is ready when the radiators come. Brake lines are all situated. The booster, the master are installed. All the pedals are installed inside of the car. So you can see in there, it has all the pedals. I guess there's only 2 pedals, but the parking brake is in there. The HVAC's all in there. And also, another thing, the AC lines are all in there. And yeah, really all I need to do over here, there's one wire to plug in, and that's for the windshield wiper motor. I think we got confused when we were ordering parts. I ordered this pulley for the supercharger system instead of this one over here. So there's a new pulley there, a new tensioner there, new AC compressor there, new alternator there, and yeah, we're all good. Also the new thermostat housing, water neck, new radiator hose. I also have the new radiator hose for that side. I just couldn't figure out which way it routed, so once I get the radiator in there, it'll probably be a lot easier to figure that out. I need the new larger intake boot for this, for the new intake. That will be in the next shipment as well. So I'm kind of working with what I have. I also did have him find those riv nuts, so they are orderable, and he's gonna have me a set of those coming so I can put the riv nuts in these holes right here, because like I said before, I've kind of repeating myself, but just so you guys know, these things are available. So if you do fix a Hellcat with a Scat Pack frame, you will just need the riv nuts to put in there, and the normal riv nut tool will expand those. So that's a plus. I have the bracket. Once I get those in there, I can bolt the supercharger water pump on there, hook that whole system up, and we're getting extremely close, boys. The Hellcat is back on the ground, and I don't think it needs to go on the lift anymore. So what I did was I threw the lower radiator bracket or support in, and now I'm just waiting for the radiators. Once they come, this car, I should be able to drive it over. Well, actually, I'll trailer it over to get an alignment. But other than that, once the alignment's done, I could drive it. And then I finally figured out where this hose, or how it was routed, because it shows right here, it has engine, there's a line right there. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I just didn't see it because it was covered. In mine, from the accident, this hose was cut off. So I now have this hose in the right spot. I should have known that that was how it went, because I forgot the coolant overflow goes in this area behind the intake, and this hose goes to the coolant overflow. I was like, where does this hose go? So that's kind of bringing the pieces back together. Once I go home and get the coolant overflow, I can put it in, put the intake back in, and that will be all buttoned up, and that line coming from that hose is right there, so it goes to the bottom. This car is coming together extremely fast now, since I got it back from the body shop after the whole U-ship catastrophe. This thing, I can't wait to drive. I am so excited to actually be able to drive it soon. It's been like that thing that you want to do for so long, and you know, most people get discouraged, but if you just keep pushing forward, you can make progress. So this thing will be driving, I would say by the end of next week. I should be able to trailer it over, get an alignment, and then be able to drive it home from there. I will need to get this thing inspected after I'll put the bad fenders on it. I'll throw the Scat Pack hood and front bumper on it once it's driving, because what they need, it needs to be a complete car. They can inspect it after that, and then I could get this thing registered, and then I could do the, you know, the new hood, the new fenders. But I want to get this thing inspected, registered, so I could actually get it ready to drive. So I don't want to have to wait any longer to get it registered and put in my name, because it is still in the auction's name, which is kind of, you know, I don't like stuff not being in my name, but we are getting close. The Scat Pack dash cover is now part of the Hellcat frame. There are a few differences between the dashes. Everything that's different you can replace. So one difference that you have to do is this little bracket right here. It goes in like that. And on the Hellcat, there are two different modules that bolt to it. On the Scat Pack, there aren't. So that is one difference. Obviously, the start-stop switch is a different color. I think they're the same exact switch, just different. The gauge cluster is also different, and the center display is also different. The Hellcat one has a lot more, and it's a newer car, so it has a lot more features. There is one plug that I couldn't figure out, I couldn't find. There's like a red plug that's empty on the back. I can't remember if it was empty when I pulled it apart. So when I put this thing back together, if I find a little plug, it's like a bus plug, I'll plug it in. If not, I don't think it's utilized. And then the last difference is the vent. So this just says SRT, has a little Hellcat emblem right there. So the dash is 100% ready to throw in the car. I'm not gonna throw it in today. I'm gonna wait because I don't have any Windex. I wanna clean the inside of the window before I throw the dash in. I also wanna clean the whole dash before I throw it in, just so it's nice and clean all the way to the back. And when it's in the car, it's a lot harder to clean. So I think that's a good option. So next time I'll clean the top of the dash, throw it in the car, and then start throwing the interior in and plugging everything in and get it ready to actually start. By then, I think the radiators and all the parts that I reordered will be here, and I could get the car actually running and driving, get alignment done on it, and then drive it home. I still need to stick the steering column in. I also need to put a new clock spring and airbag in that steering column. So those will be coming in the new shipment as well. So that's pretty much it for this video. I'm really glad that the Hellcat is where it is right now. It's actually sitting on the ground. It rolls really, really nice. I'm glad the dash is ready to go back in the car. This project is finally moving forward, and I'm super excited to drive it. So in the next couple of videos, I will actually be able to drive the car. If you do like these videos, click the subscribe button, comment below, give it a thumbs up, and hopefully you like the Hellcat content. See you in the next episode.